Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we're here for another episode of my F1 2019 career mode for you guys today here on the channel. As you can see, we're having a look at everything in terms of the R&D tree and just seeing what we've been upgrading. So we've got some new upgrades for the front and rear downforce of the car. In terms of the chassis, we didn't actually get the upgrade for the rear floor under tray, which we're now going to purchase and try and get for the German Grand Prix. But anyway, if you do enjoy today's video, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you've not yet subscribed to the channel as well. And finally, if you do hear any road traffic outside, I have my windows open because once again, my balls are sweating more than Devon Ballsack. So, with that being done and dusted, as you can see, Emma is praising me for my work against my rival Lucas Weber. This time around now, I've picked Devon Ballsack as my rival just so I can continue to embarrass him. Heading on into qualifying, and it was actually a wet qualifying, which was the first time I'd really experienced quite a damp and dreary qualifying session. I didn't actually realise how awful the AI were in wet conditions. But first of all, coming across the line here, sliding my way literally to the start-finish line, we go P7, and it's 1.1 seconds off the pace. Eventually, we drop to P10 there. As you can see, 1.1 off the pace. Lando Norris doing a great job there, so it's Ferrari and Mercedes topping the way with Red Bull, Renault in front of us, actually, which is quite interesting there. But unfortunately, Lucas Weber, one of my F2 driver rivals, has unfortunately been kicked out of qualifying 1. Moving on into qualifying 2 then, you see that Pierre Gasly currently sets the fastest time so far of the session with a 1:44.933. We're now coming across the line. It's in intermediate conditions now in this phase of the session. And as you can see, as we come blasting towards the line, it's initially a 1:43.4, which was much faster than Pierre Gasly. And that was actually my first run. I actually went out for 2 runs in qualifying to try and make the best of what I had. And I automatically knew something was up when I realised that Charles Leclerc hadn't even beaten my lap time. You can see here that we're coming around the second to last corner now in the Vale chicane here, and now through Club Corner, and you can see that I am still quicker than all of them. And then I set a 1:42.9 just to go even faster, and that's when I knew something was slightly up. And I was going to up the difficulty, and then I saw this. So I went into the end of the qualifying session, and I was 1.3 off the pace. So I decided to keep the difficulty where it is. In terms of my AI difficulty, I'm currently running on 104 at the moment. I've been slowly but surely re-increasing it because I did drop it down after Baku, but I've been re-upping it again. And now in towards Q3 here, you can see Bottas set to 1:42.3, and I knew that I could potentially beat that time already. And as I come across the start-finish line, it's 1:41.8, which is 0.2 of a second shy of what the others did in qualifying. On my second run then, I was going even faster than that. And you can see here that neither Vettel or Charles Leclerc have actually beaten that lap time. And then this is when it really struck on me. It's a 1:41.2 now, another new fastest lap. And at this point, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I think the AIs suck in wet conditions. This is quite weird. But here it is then. So what I did on this lap here in Q3 is I went out and it was literally a full banzai lap. So I put no fuel in the car, maximum fuel output, hot lap ERS enabled, because on all my other runs I've been doing 2 runs and just putting a bit extra fuel in there and being gentle with the car, not running it in hot lap because there's no real point. But as you can see here, a little bit of a sloppy exit there coming down the Wellington Straight now as we head in towards Brooklands and Luffield Corner. You can see that we're 0.2 of a second up, new fastest first sector of anybody so far in this qualifying session. As you can see now, just navigating our way through, and look at the time that we're finding. We found nearly a 1/10.5 just from that one corner alone, which shows that there was just so much pace in this car in the wet conditions. And as we now go flying down the straight here, down in towards Stoke Corner now, we come blasting through, drop it into 6th gear in towards Stoke Corner, upshifting it immediately into 7th, just to allow the back end to stay with me through that latter stages as we now come flying through Maggots and Beckett's, probably the best selection of corners on the F1 grid, or the F1 calendar, should we say. And you can see here that we're just gently getting our way through, and you can see here it's a lovely exit now onto the hanging straight, and we're 0.3 of a second, nearly 0.4 of a second up on our fastest lap. But we're finding massive amount of time here as Hamilton and Bottas both improve, Vettel improves, and they did not beat my lap time of a 1:41.2. So this just shows that, yeah, we have an AI issue here. We now go braking into the last corner here, taking it nice and gingerly on the brakes here, lose a little bit of time, but it allows me to straighten up for the chicane now, upping it into 4th very early on. Bit of a sloppy exit here. We're going to lose the back end, lose a little bit of time, but we still find 3.5 of a second, and it is pole position at the British Grand Prix, my home race, in a McLaren, in wet weather conditions. And that on your screen right there kind of proves that I did not realize, because this is the first time I've ever experienced the AI in wet conditions. I didn't realize how crap they were. They were terrible in wet conditions. So from now on, I know that when it comes to wet weather conditions, make them harder, because they don't know how to drive in wet conditions. It was bad last year. I think it's actually even worse this year around. I think I'm going to get an interview.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid.
Yeah, it was a great relief. You know what they say, Supreme Leagues likes it wet.
The weather hasn't been ideal in qualifying. What's your take on it?
At the end of the day, love, like, man just likes it wet.
It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development.
This is actually an interesting one, because it allows me to basically just put the good sign on something else. So I put up the power unit, which is probably the wrong choice.
Appreciate your time.
So there we go then. So that is going to be it for qualifying then for the British Grand Prix. So we are going to start on pole position. I'm not going to change it. I'm still staying on pole. It was a valid lap in qualifying. So that's what we're going to do. We're now getting into the Grand Prix. It's set to be a dry race. So expect us to start dropping down the field, because the pace is definitely not up there to win a race in a McLaren in dry conditions just yet. But yeah, let's see how we go. And let's just have fun with it. We're on pole position. Let's see how we can do. It's time for the British Grand Prix.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Lando Norris. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition. But Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proved to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Thomas lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Bottas, Max Verstappen, and Gasly, Norris, Perez, Hülkenberg, and Kimi Räikkönen. Sainz, Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty. Kevin Magnussen and Butler. Giovinazzi, Weber, George Russell and Alexander Albon. Kubica and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Alright then, so we're on the grid here to start the British Grand Prix. It's going to be a one-stop strategy, starting from the soft tyres and going straight to the medium compound tyres. So it's a very basic and standard strategy, but here we are then. This is unusual for us here. Pole position for the British Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights. Let's see what we can do, and it is going to eventually be lights out. There we go here to start the British Grand Prix. Decent start for us, covering off Sebastian Vettel as we go in towards the first corner, and we do just that. It's actually a great start for us as Vettel and Leclerc now go side by side through towards the first part of the lap here. We have survived the onslaught to start with here, and as you can see then, we're coming on through. Charles Leclerc has jumped in front of Sebastian Vettel then, so it is myself who leads the Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc second place then, Vettel in third ahead of Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes car, ahead of then I believe it is the Red Bulls of Verstappen and Gasly, then the Renault car, or Norris sorry, actually comes in front of that. But as we go through in towards the end of the first sector here, we're still in the lead with the British Grand Prix here. I can't believe I'm actually saying that right now, but of course that is literally down to our qualifying performance. And now as you can see here on the run now down towards Stowe Corner, Charles Leclerc getting ever closer here as we go a little bit wide on the exit there, losing a bit of concentration now, and that was a track extension warning as well in the process here as we fly through towards Stowe Corner. And look at the speed that the Ferrari is carrying through there now. Charles Leclerc having a look in towards Magnussen and Beckers, but we get there just a little bit too quickly for Charles Leclerc's liking as we fly our way through now in towards this beautiful complex of corners in the Beckett's Grandstand where I sat to watch the British Grand Prix last year. And as you can see now, we're flying on the hanging straight now. Let's see if the Ferrari is close enough to have a run at us down in towards this corner now. And as you can see here, very much defending very, very heavily now against the Ferrari car there. And we just about stay in front here. And now as we come in towards the chicane for the for the first time here, not the final time, jeez, there's a long way to go yet. And as we go through the failed chicane now, and to start the second lap of the Grand Prix, we are leading the Grand Prix. New fastest lap there, 1:35.6, but of course, no one else has actually set a lap yet that's competitively quick. So let's see what we can do then. We've got all the front runners right up our backsides. They're desperate to pass us, and we're now going to be the giant orange block in the way. So let's see what we can do then as we go now down in towards this next part of the corner. You can see here now flying on through as we go towards the Wellington Straight now here, and it's all about managing the ERS and my fuel mixture now. But here comes Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, getting closer now as we go in towards Luffield and Brooklands corner. He has a little look there, didn't quite commit fully to it, but he is there, and he's just letting me know that, you know, Tom, you're in a McLaren, you shouldn't really be here. I'm in a Ferrari that actually wins races. Lol. And he wants to try and get past me. So as you can see now then onto the straight here, we've got Vettel and Leclerc going side by side into Stowe corner here. You can see here that I believe it is Leclerc and Sebastian going side by side in towards Magnus and Beckett, and they're just hovering all over the rear wing of my car. It's absolutely terrifying to see, but I think Vettel is just going to an edge in front, and he does so. So he gets back past his teammate there as Hamilton there makes a move on one of the Renault cars of Hulkenberg. And as you can see now, we go in super defensive here on the straight versus Sebastian Vettel. Vettel gets a great run. We're going to cover the inside line here into the corner now as we go on through. Nice little bit of defensive play there from ourselves. We managed to hold off from Sebastian Vettel. I'm pretty sure that is Stowe corner. I actually can't remember the corner names, to be honest. They're just, you know, I'm just going to butcher them, so not even going to bother trying to say them. As Pierre Gasly there is out of the British Grand Prix. I think his car was smoking actually on the replay cam when we were on board with myself versus Vettel there. So yeah, a bit of a shame there for Gasly, but at the end of the day, it's pretty much as good as he's ever going to be. So now onto lap 4 of the Grand Prix, and as you can see, we're still holding our own, but obviously we've now got Vettel here with a great run now through onto the old pit straight here. Vettel goes to the outside line, and he's going to try and have a little look here. So what can Sebastian Vettel do as we go through now side by side here? Vettel just has to hold off of it though, and we managed to defend against Sebastian Vettel on that occasion. But of course, there is still a good 22 laps left in this Grand Prix. Anything can happen onto lap 5 of the Grand Prix now. We go very wide here as Hamilton set to new fastest lap, 1:32, and my fastest lap is there's a contact there. Contact between myself and Sebastian Vettel there into the first corner. Let's have a look at the replay of this then. Vettel there goes the inside line here. We then go towards the outside line here, and such a light piece of contact there between myself and Sebastian Vettel, completely unintentional. Slowing it down, you can just see there, look how light that was in terms of contact. But as you can see there, I've left him plenty of space. He's on the racing line. He's got plenty of room there to do what he needs to. And as you can see here, just fast forwarding it back as we now go in towards turn 1 at a much slower speed here. Vettel at this point, look at that, he's all 4 wheels off the track. There's plenty of room for him. I've left him the space. Look at the room that's there. And Vettel there just decided to go all 4 wheels off the track and basically just plowed into the side of my car. I was tempted to flash back. In these scenarios, if I took out a front runner, I would flash back just so I didn't have to, so they could actually, you know, make it fair. But in that scenario, no, I'm not, because you didn't do it properly. But anyway, now on to lap 6 of the Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc has just seen the Supreme Leader attack his friend, and now he's going to come at me and try and take the position now up in towards the right hand now as we go through side by side with Charles Leclerc, but we have the inside line to ourselves. And at this stage in the Grand Prix, I was sweating more than Devon Balsack's entire family at this stage, because I was actually now fully in the zone at this point. I knew that the Ferraris and the Mercedes and the Red Bulls were much, much faster than me around here. But when they had all these attempts and they're having these attempts to get past me and it wasn't working, I was now in full, complete defense mode, and I was doing everything I can to now stop them from passing. As Charles Leclerc here has the DRS now as we go into Luffield and Brooklands here. And we've managed to fend off once again against the Ferrari car. He has a little look there in the inside, but I take a slightly wider line just to give me a slightly better exit onto this old pit straight now. And it's not actually gone that badly here as we fly on through now, but Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari has just got such a better power unit, just overall better speed than myself as we go side by side here. Charles Leclerc sticks with it this time. We bang wheels a little bit with Charles Leclerc now. More banging wheels as Charles comes back onto the track into Maggotts and Beckett's. Charles this time backs out of it. We go wide now on the entrance into Maggotts and Beckett's. Now as we try and make our way through into Beckett's here. We get onto the power now through Chapel Corner, onto the hangar straight here. We've got a great run, but Charles Leclerc's going to have a much better run with DRS here. Bottas now has a little look at Charles Leclerc, and it's who do I cover off now? Because both of them have got DRS. They're going to cover the outside line. Bottas will be boxed in, though. We go through on the outside there. Defend against Charles Leclerc, defend against Bottas, defending against absolutely everyone right now. And as we go in towards the chicane here, very wide through there, but I was really struggling now. In terms of the pressure, there was so much mounting on this now. So we go on to the start-finish straight here. Leclerc gets a great run. We go to the inside line this time. We're trying to save some ERS here. Bottas trying to have a look as well. Side by side, nearly making contact there with Charles Leclerc, but it's fair racing, and we get through and we stay in the lead of the British Grand Prix. But at the moment, literally, if these guys get past me, I know full well that the race is over. Well, it's not really, because I can still get a good amount of points, but whilst I'm in the lead, I'm having some fun right now, and if you want to pass me, come past me. I'm not stopping you from doing so. I'm just defending my position. As here comes Charles Leclerc once again with the DRS. I thought he would be actually too far back, but he got a better run in the closing speed section, but we do manage to hold on there, just tighten his line a little bit on the inside, and it just doesn't allow him the room that he needs. But as you can see so far, our 134.4 is nearly 2 seconds slower than what these guys are doing out front when they had that bit of clean air. Bottas and Hamilton. And speaking of Bottas, he's passed Charles Leclerc. Now he fancies to run at my race lead here. So it's Charles Leclerc that's having a little bit of a break, and it's Bottas now that's trying to get past this orange block that's in front of him. And unfortunately for Bottas, we're not going to allow that to happen. Defending easily in towards turn 1, and now braking into second gear and carrying on our way here. And we did get some good exit here. A little bit of oversteer on the back, but you can see how the proximity arrow just disappears at this stage. And I'm running no ERS, lean fuel mixture here down the straight. I might have to increase it ever so slightly, because Bottas with a great run though doesn't actually get it through. And this is what I mean by I was now in the zone. I was now dealing with the pressure, basically. I knew the pressure was there. I knew where they could get the run through on me, and I was now eligible to manage my fuel, manage my ERS for these attacks. Here comes Bottas now on towards this old pit straight here, and we have a look, and we decided to defend the outside line this time. Just get that swooping run, a little bit wide on the exit there, but it's okay because Charles Leclerc now has a little look at Valtteri Bottas here for second place. So Charles Leclerc fancies coming back at the finish driver to try and take the position, and he does so. So Charles Leclerc there does get back in front, but Bottas holds it through the Maggots and Beckett's complex here, and Charles Leclerc eventually though does get back past here, as unfortunately for myself I was trying to actually press to get my higher engine modes, but we are going to pit at the end of this lap as well, as up in towards 8th gear now. Charles Leclerc with DRS. We could just break that a little bit later though on the inside, and we can swoop, take that exit curb, and then take this wide line here and then close it off again. It's such a neat defensive move to do that now. So we go onto the old pit straight here, once again fending off the Ferrari now, who's going to get a great run but doesn't actually get the run, as we now go up in towards I think this is Stowe Corner. Don't even know, to be honest, at this rate. I believe it is. And as you can see now, we go through, and that is just now coming into the pits here, and it's actually just clicked on me that I've been saying Stowe Corner in the wrong place. I've just realized that it's actually Cops Corner. Whoops, my bad. So yeah, anyway, we're coming to the pits now, and it's been a very successful first stint. No one's passed us. This is obviously the point now where I do realise that I am going to be in a little bit of an issue, because of course they're now in free air and they can get on with their race. Basically, they don't have to deal with me just being in the way. They can have their own fun, and yeah, that's all that they really care about. So this is probably where we're going to end up losing the race lead. I know that obviously you do get the great benefit of having fresh tyres. I just don't think it's good enough. The only advantage that I do have now with these fresh tyres is A, if they get held up in the pits, or B, I've left them so close to each other that it might just be that they're fighting around. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. But in order for me to stop constantly butchering each corner name at Silverstone, I've now just put a picture of it up on my screen so I actually can get them right. If I get them wrong, then that's even worse, because I'm looking at it as a picture though. On to that 13th of the Grand Prix though. Both Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas didn't jump me in the pit stops, because that's Hamilton right behind me. Bottas a little bit further back, as Hamilton now comes at me in towards Stowe Corner now. Right on the outside here, Hamilton just about misses out there. The two British drivers now fighting at their home Grand Prix for the race lead here, and we do manage to defend as we now go in towards the Vale chicane here. And on that occasion, Hamilton had a little look around the outside. You can see there, look, the gap is actually spread out between the lot of us. You can see me and Hamilton side by side as we go in towards the club corner here. Bottas is next, then it's Charles Leclerc, then it's one of the Red Bulls there. Hamilton now up in towards the first corner here, has a little look, but unfortunately on that occasion we just managed to defend into Abbey, and now in towards the farm section here, and I'm definitely still not looking at my phone for corner names, shush. But now, onto that 14 of the Grand Prix, Hamilton very close down the back, and this is his best chance to get a run at myself, whilst there's no other cars around here, but we're now putting up the engine motors. We go onto the old pit straight now. Hamilton has managed to secure the inside line here, side by side, between myself and Lewis. We've had to up the engine motor here a little bit, but in towards Copse Corner, side by side here. It's a great overtaking move from Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has taken the lead on the British Grand Prix, so my staunch defence of the race lead has come to an end. Lewis Hamilton snatches the lead here, but in towards Maggots and Beckett's now, and on towards Chapel here. We're still in DRS range here of Lewis Hamilton. I still have Rich Mix enabled. I've still got overtake enabled. So Lewis, unfortunately, mate, I know you just got that position off me. Can I have it back though, please? Into Stoke Corner, down the inside here on Lewis Hamilton, the McLaren. Very much nippy in a straight line, and we get back past Lewis Hamilton just to add to the frustration for Lewis there as he tries to go for it in towards the Vale chicane, but not on that occasion. He may have got the move done, but I was just in DRS range. A little bit of exit there. Problem on the club corner now, up towards the turn one now, in towards Abbey here. Hamilton goes towards the outside line here. Let's see what we can do though as we fly on through. We just about hold on against Hamilton through in towards farm section now, and obviously you can see we're still in front at the moment. We're trying so hard here to defend now as we come up towards Copse Corner here. Can Lewis Hamilton try here? He goes towards the inside line on this occasion, but again he wasn't really fully side by side at that point, so Hamilton, you might have to try a little bit more if you're going to come through on that occasion. Through towards Maggots and Beckett's now. Let's see how we can do through here. And as you can see on this occasion, just gently bringing my way on through, just not trying to ruin myself in this position here. And now, as you can see here, look at the ERS that I've got as well. I've still got plenty of battery left. I've been really doing a good job in terms of harvesting the battery at the right places here. Here comes Hamilton though, up towards Stoke Corner. Round the outside though, we're going to pinch his line slightly, and that gives us an easier turn in for Stoke Corner. And then in towards the Vale chicane here. Again, lean fuel mixture, no ERS, save back up the battery once again, and I'm literally just saving in every point where the AIs are not attacking me. Back up into standard and medium ERS now as Hamilton here has a little run here. Bottas with 132.7 now, new fastest lap for Valtteri. Mine's a 133.8, lol. As you can see now, we come flying on through here, and on that occasion, Hamilton just has to wait even longer now, but it is now myself versus Hamilton versus Bottas as Valtteri has caught up to us, and you can pretty much say Charles Leclerc as well, because he's probably just under a second from Bottas here. So all of us now are starting to bunch back up again. It's because of this orange block in the way, and that's me. As Hamilton now here on the straight now tries to have a little look here in towards Brooklands now, and we just about hold on from Hamilton. Very much squeezed him quite heavily there, and that was actually a tactical move which didn't actually work. I wanted to squeeze Hamilton to the point where he was side by side with Bottas, and those two would have a little bit of a fight. It didn't actually work. Bottas just literally barged his way on through like the porridge man that he is here, but Bottas gets a great run here in towards Copse Corner, but on that occasion, again, easy move. I can defend that on the inside line every single day of the week, Valtteri. As we now go up towards Maggots and Beckett's here, it's not going to work for him. Lap 17 of the Grand Prix, Hamilton has got back past Bottas. Bottas is in a fight with Charles Leclerc to defend his position now in towards Brooklands once again here, having to defend against Lewis Hamilton. And as you can see now, Bottas repasses Charles Leclerc. In fact, the both of them having a great side-by-side battle behind. Really, I'm not focusing on those though, because I still have a Mercedes right at my backside for good company now. As we go onto the straight here towards Copse Corner, taking a slightly compromised line. Hamilton ducks into the slipstream to come back out of it again into Copse Corner. Again, that's the perfect way to defend if you're trying to defend through those high-speed corners. Pinch the guy who's going on the outside, give him less space, and it gives you that much easier turn in, and it doesn't compromise you as much. It's going to be hard, but obviously on that occasion, if you could just squeeze them a little bit wider, it just allows you a bit less angle for your turn in, and you can carry a bit more speed as we now go on through here, trying to duck out of the slipstream. And then obviously Lewis Hamilton though is having absolutely none of that, comes out of the slipstream, but he's just not too good. He's just too far back though to make the overtake. And at this stage of the Grand Prix, lap 18 now, I was genuinely thinking, can I actually defend until the end of the Grand Prix? It would literally just be a video of me defending against the AIs consistently, but I had that hope now that I might just be able to keep them back. But obviously there is still plenty of laps left and plenty more drama that could happen, more contact maybe that could send myself spinning. You know, they might even turn up the power unit a little bit. I can make a mistake. I need to keep my cool. Into Copse Corner, Hamilton again, just going to give myself a much better angle here. And on that occasion, actually, Hamilton's lost out to Charles Leclerc. So now, Charles, who's been sitting back for a while, after he pressurized us in the opening stint, has come back for more here. So here comes Charles Leclerc then, as we go through Magnussen, Beckett and Alonso Chapel here and onto the straight. Let's see what Charles can do in his Ferrari. I'm using hot lap now to try and increase my power a little bit more into 8th gear now. Here comes Charles Leclerc, and this time let's go to the inside line and just keep defending that line. And Charles didn't really get alongside me as much as I would have thought. In fact, he was hardly alongside, to be honest, at that stage. As now you can see onto lap 19 of the Grand Prix now, we're trying to defend again. This time it is Charles Leclerc once again. He's much closer on this occasion. We're now having to use rich mix and overtake here as we go in towards Brooklands here. We're a little bit behind, but he's just left us so much room on the inside that we can fly on through there. And Charles could have tried a switchback style line. It's just quite difficult into Brooklands. Really, you want to be going for the inside line if you're going to do those types of overtakes. It's just on that scenario as we get a full race update there. I didn't actually want that. Again, I was trying to select to get the higher engine modes as Hamilton now tries to have a look into Stowe corner. On that occasion, we managed to defend against him as Hamilton has now overtaken Charles Leclerc. So all of these guys just constantly passing each other. But I think we've got myself versus Hamilton versus Leclerc versus Bottas versus Verstappen, because Pierre Gasly's out of the Grand Prix. Which is big actually for the Drivers' Championship as well, because we're in front of Gasly. And if we somehow win this Grand Prix, Christ almighty, there's going to be a massive uproar in the British crowd. But we managed to defend against Hamilton into Abbey corner there, and that was there was 4 spots really where they were coming at me. It's on this Wellington straight, it's on the Hangar straight, it's on the run down towards Cops corner, and also on the pit straight. That's where they're getting the runs on me, but everywhere else they're not, and that's just allowing me the opportunity to, just like I said, manage my fuel, manage my ERS, make sure that they don't come anywhere near me. Hamilton now has a run here with DRS, and again, I'm using lean and 0 ERS in the end of the straight because I just feel so confident now in defending. It's not a case of, you know, in the start of the race, you sort of have that adrenaline rush, you get a bit flustered, sometimes you're easy to make mistakes, but I've been doing this for, well, 20 laps now, so I kind of know what I'm doing at this stage. It's just to keep on defending, so here comes Lewis Hamilton now, in towards Cops corner once again, and it doesn't work for Hamilton on that occasion. We're doing literally everything we can. Hamilton's got a great run though, through towards Magnussen Beckett now, going side by side through here. We drop it into 7th gear, we get through towards Magnussen Beckett, and Hamilton is trying literally every spot now on the circuit to get the overtake done here. And even though that we're defending so hard here, not even the likes of the Renault car that's just in the background of the mini-map there is getting close to us now, as Hamilton now up towards Stowe corner, goes very close there. Little bit of contact maybe between myself and Hamilton. I think I squeezed him a little bit too wide there, but at the end of the day, Vettel has done that squeeze on Hamilton in Austria last year, and he did it on Lando Norris this year, so, you know, you can do that. As you can see now, going on to lap 21 of the Grand Prix, we still maintain the race lead by about 0.2 of a second there. So Hamilton now follows us up in towards Abbey corner and again towards the outside line. Just about tickles our way through here. A little bit of contact, but Hamilton stays side by side on this occasion now in towards farm section. This time around we break a little bit later there than Lewis Hamilton. I think we made some contact there. Charles Leclerc comes on through as well as I try to turn in. But at the end of the day, normally when I make those contact moves by there, it's a bit rash, but these AIs, especially when it comes to actually turning into a corner, they're not exactly the smartest of the bunch, so I'm not bothered about that piece of contact there. And Charles Leclerc now has a look with the DRS here, but we actually had DRS on that occasion because we were behind Hamilton in the detection zone there. But yeah, when you go for those late moves, a lot of the times you are going to make contact with the AI. Don't panic about it and think that, you know, it's wrong, because the AIs, what they always do is they always turn. They don't really take consideration for you actually being there. But as we now go in towards Cops corner here, side by side, we had the run there. Charles Leclerc, had a great run through there. He probably could have stuck it out, but on that occasion, he just decided not to go for it, which was a bit strange now. And here comes Charles Leclerc now in towards Brooklands, and as you can see here, once again, quite simple to defend the corner, and this time go extremely wide. Actually went a bit too wide there for my liking, and now we're getting very aggressive here against Charles, because I really want this win now. I've been defending for 22 laps. I'm not going to defend for 22 laps and not try and win this now, as Hamilton here tries to have a run at Charles Leclerc into Cops. Hamilton's boxed in by myself, now in towards Cops corner. I leave the room there, and Hamilton now sneaks his way on through, and it's a British 1-2 here at the home Grand Prix. We now fly through Magnussen Beckett's here, but with Hamilton being so close, I can only imagine that he's going to have a run here in towards the straight now towards Stowe corner. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, rich mixture, overtake mode, still got plenty of my battery left, and we're going to blast it now now down the straight here. Hamilton with the DRS now, and we're just basically telling Jeff to shut up at this moment because he was constantly telling me about updates about this, that, and the other, and tyres and fuel and the RS and all this stuff, and I really needed him to just stop talking because I was really concentrating heavily now in this Grand Prix and in the Vale chicane, once again holding off the threat from Hamilton. We're going to have another one from him now on this straight here, and obviously, luckily for myself this year, this straight doesn't have DRS like it had last year, so for us, we can cope with that, and we fly on through now, and we defend against Lewis Hamilton, actually building a small advantage there, and it's now a lap later that we get another attack from Hamilton, and this time Bottas now has cleared Charles Leclerc, so Mercedes now have cleared the Ferraris. Hamilton a 10th back now, and then they run towards the corner here. You can see Hamilton sort of like looks and then decides against it, and on that occasion, look how much on the minimap there, he's backed himself up, and do you know what? He backed himself up so much that it's actually given us the perfect run through. The final lap of the Grand Prix, we have done 26 solid laps of hardcore defending across the start-finish line to win the British Grand Prix, the most intense Grand Prix I have ever had in a Formula 1 Grand Prix race. I defended so heavily, and it's an absolute joy to win the British Grand Prix. It's felt so good, and I can already see the comments now. This game is too easy. You need to increase the difficulty. If that qualifying session was a dry qualifying session, I would have no chance of beating these AIs. Because I was stuck on pole position, because I had the strategy of just defending, I knew where to defend, I knew where to save the fuel, I knew where to save the ERS, I made sure that I stuck to it for 26 laps, got my head down, got the job done. At the end of the day, the AIs could have passed me, but did they? No. Hamilton managed to get past me at one stage in the Grand Prix, but I came back at him with determination and also with some straight line speed help from my McLaren car. That is a well-earned race win drive. Granted, in qualifying, I need to remember to turn up the AI when it comes to wet weather conditions, because again, I never knew that they were so powerful, so slow, in that position. Lando Norris there as well, look, grabbing P8 for McLaren, so a great result there. And with Racing Point both not scoring today, Carlos and Devon not scoring a point, with 25 and 29 points in total coming our way. In the Drivers' Championship now, we actually leapfrog Max Verstappen with the race win there on 87 points now, and we're pulling further away from Pierre Gasly. Norris now picks up a couple of points there just to put himself into the top 15 in the championship, which is crucial for McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. With that phenomenal result, we now overtake Racing Point as the 4th team in terms of the Constructors' Championship. That's exactly what we want.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You've had experience with Devon's fast, aggressive style. Any advice for the drivers he passed today?
Go faster. Told you.
How are you feeling after that win?
Ecstatic, because that was a race win that I deserved on merit, because I fought and defended extremely hard. It was like Monaco, but obviously I lost the footage.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
Well, last weekend I had an engine penalty. Still did a great job.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations,
Jeez,
isn't
this
it?
woman is just asking me everything. Oh, just lick my elbow.
Great. Well, that's everything.
And that's everything from myself as well. So guys, that is going to be it for the British Grand Prix here today. If you guys have enjoyed the video, feel free to drop it a like, and obviously subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. And be sure to obviously subscribe. It keeps you up to date with every single video that I do upload here on the channel. I'm having so much fun with F1 at the moment. It's really good. I'm really enjoying the game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to posting more content. We do obviously achieve the team goals as well. And we get 1,400 resource points in total, which I believe we make an upgrade at the end. But yeah, like I said, and obviously now our reputation with McLaren is at its highest possible point, which is amazing for us. But yeah, in terms of like the overall result as well, like I said, I'm not going to change the AI that I run at. Like I said, you know, if the qualifying was in the dry, there was no chance I was getting on pole. No chance I'd have of winning. The AIs, you saw their fastest laps on the screens. They were over a second a lap faster, and that was because I was holding them up. Give them the clean air without me holding them up, and they'd be 1.5, 2 seconds faster. So that's all I'm going to say on that. So we make an upgrade to the chassis and also to the power unit. Try and get those in for Germany. Until then, guys, though, I will see you for the next episode. Take care all. Thank you very much for watching.